All right. Welcome all of you to our module 3 of this course. My name is A.Kaburi, and today we shall be looking at future ready schools. But before then, we want to recap last module, what we talked about. So in our last module, we started discussing about the current thinking in technology leadership, and we also try to contextualize it in uh, the context of science education in Ghana and comparing it with the current thinking in technology leadership with regards to the United States. So today we want to move a step ahead and talk about future ready schools framework, the future ready schools framework, and we want to focus on the K-12 education. Now, so our table of content or our agenda for today, we'll be looking at what is the future ready schools, for example, and then we'll move ahead to talk about the best practices or the examples with regards to the dashboard for future ready school tools. And we'll move ahead also to look at the implications of future ready schools in our workplaces and also look at our recommendations as well as the next steps for the future ready schools. And then we'll end it up with our references. So, by way of introduction, like I said in the content or the agenda, we are looking at what is a future ready school. So, future ready school is a framework. It's research based that was guided and developed by the Alliance for Excellent Teacher Education to help district grade and school leaders to plan and implement personalized digital learning tools, strategies, and that will prepare K-12 students for focus in college careers as well as citizenship or their personal lives. And this future ready schools framework is centered on the seven key components, which they usually refer to as the seven gears, which we'll be looking at in our subsequent slides. But for us to be able to make sure that this future ready framework is well implemented, we need to understand that it's a collaborative leadership. That means that it's something that is collaborative and it ties the framework together, ensuring that all the gears or the seven components of the framework are in constant drive for effective change. So these are the seven gears that we mentioned during the course of our introduction or the definition. And these gears are number one is the curriculum instruction and the assessment. We also have the second one, which is the personalized professional development. And then we have the third one, which is robust infrastructure. And we also have the fourth one, which is data privacy, data and privacy, sorry. And then we also have our community partnership as a fifth one. And the next one is a budget and resources. And the last but not the least is use of space and time. Now, so let's look at it one after the other for us to be able to maximize our understanding. Like I said earlier on, it's a research-based roadmap for digital learning transformation in the K-12 uh, level. And the first gear that we'll talk about is the curriculum and instruction. And for the curriculum and instruction, we need to look at our curriculums that we are using to make sure that they are redesigned, aligning them to standards that align with technology empowered or relevant technologies in this 21st century. Now, when we look at the personalized professional learning as well, uh, we have to consider expanding access to high quality and ongoing professional development models for the differentiation of our educators or our teachers, because that is so important for teachers to be able to meet up with the growing demands of technology and AI industry. They need to constantly and committedly be going through professional development trainings for them to be abreast with the new skills. Now we have to also consider a robust infrastructure. If we want to have these skills being practicalized in the classroom, then infrastructure is also very, very important. So we have to provide reliable networks, devices, and support for this digital learning. We cannot train teachers with professional development skills, with adequate technology skills, and there are no computers or infrastructure to match up these particular skills or give to the teachers the opportunity to put them to use. Now, as we are talking about technology and infrastructure, definitely we should know that technology always goes with data. Data is something that we can never do away with, and all this data need to be kept safe. So data and privacy is also a very important gear in this future ready framework. So we need to implement secure, ethical, and responsible data management practices. Uh, Teach our teachers and people and all the stakeholders involved in this framework as to how to handle our data so that people's personalized data and all sort of important data can be kept safe without being revealed to external predators. Now, the next thing is community partnership. This future ready framework, it's something that is done collaboratively. It then therefore demands collaborative skills to link all the gears to foster this systematic change, as I mentioned earlier. So we need to involve all the stakeholders involved, like the parents or the families. We need to also involve local organizations and NGOs, businesses that are supporting learning, as well as any other organization that would deem it fit or that contributes in one way or other to the teaching and learning in our district or communities. Budget and resources. We have to also consider aligning our financial strategies to sustain the technology and digital initiatives. So we know all this has to do with money. We need money to buy computers. We need money to train our teachers. We need money to organize professional development trainings. So we need to make sure that our budget and our financial resources are in a way aligned with what we want to achieve in this future ready framework. Now, use of space and time. Uh, this should be relevant or flexible schedules and environment to foster deeper learning. Our planning or our time that we use for this particular framework, we should make sure we leverage it as to be flexible. It should have an adequate time, and the environment should also foster deeper understanding for us to achieve this goal. Now, we want to look at the future framework dashboard tools and by way or by extension also talk about the examples. Now, where one of the things that I want to talk about is looking at in the game of case study, and the one of the case studies or the examples that I want to talk about is Seven case study, which increased staff comfort and technology via targeted professional development and adaptive infrastructure. And so this our future ready framework should be interactive. Well, that we should make it interactive for us to assess digital readiness, identify gaps, gather strategies, and track progress over time. And this was not, something that was said by the Alliance for Excellent Education in 2021. We also have to look at our dashboard as a tool for actionable plans for implementation of technology and digital learning, engaging the teachers and improving student outcomes. And we can compare this with the case study of Bristol Warren, which defined and operationalized or personalized the framework for the students as well as the teachers. And the third tool or the third example I want to talk about is the Cologne Unify. And with this one, we want to make sure that our tools, or our dashboard is focused on digital efforts on undeserved populations. So self-assessment to help schools to tailor technology integration in their unique context. So these undeserved populations have unique context, And therefore, we have to make sure we have self-assessment to help these schools tailor their technology integration to their unique context. Now, the implementation in our workplaces. So adapting the future ready framework can help us to, in one way or the one, to advance equity or effectiveness, and it also help us break the digital divide, granting all students access to modern learning resources, regardless of their background. And the second thing also we can talk about, it's helping us in our workplace or in our schools or in our profession, or teaching profession, to increase personalization. It enables tailored instruction, improving student engagement as well as achievement through the digital tools. We can also talk about it in the form of the fact that it promotes sustainable change. So it fosters continuous improvement using the digital, using the data, professional development, and the resource allocation that refine the technology strategies. And last but not the least, also adapting this framework in our teaching career or profession can help us strengthen our community collaborations and connections. We have said that this framework works collaboratively. So to collaborate with external partners and some NGOs to enrich our programs and introduce practical career-related experiences. Now, so these are my recommendations for this particular future ready framework with regards to K-12 education. Number one, we have to use the future ready framework interactively for to conduct readiness assessment, set goals, and track implementation progress. We have to also prioritize ongoing professional learning. We have to invest in upskilling teachers to maximize our instructional impact of technology. We have to also, I also recommend that we foster community partnership since we cannot do it by ourselves. It's a collaborative thing. We leverage local expertise, support holistic skill development. We have to also plan for equity. We ensure that all our students and teachers have robust access to technology device and internet, which is so important. We cannot do it without constantly and committedly monitoring and making some revisions with regards to what we have. So we have to regularly evaluate the program effectiveness using the data for continuous professional development. Now, our next step is that let's explore. Let's explore the framework, begin the baseline for assessment of the schools of our organization. We should also engage our stakeholders, continue to engage in stakeholder engagement, in vision setting and collaborative planning. And finally, we have to review, like I said earlier on, we have to review the on case study basis on online actionable strategies with proven results. And by way the drafting these recommendations for improvement in this framework should align with the gears that we mentioned and much focusing on our curriculum, the professional development, as well as making this kind of collaboration among ourselves or the stakeholders will make everything successful. And these are the references that I use or help me to prepare this presentation. I hope you had a grasp of the future ready schools framework in the context of K-12 education. And I appreciate your time listening to me and giving me your feedback as soon as possible. Until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for your contribution. Go Tigers.